On a dusty stretch of the Tanami Highway, the message from Yuendumu is clear.
We were all terrified. We were scared. We didn't know what to do.
So the police have just gone 2 different cars.
The police shooting of Kumanjayi Walker in 2019 during an attempt to arrest him left the community and the police force devastated. Finally, closure is in sight. The coroner's almost 3-year inquest is finished, her report due to be handed down tomorrow.
What are they going to do to us? What do we want? That's the biggest question lies today for Yapa.
6 months after then Constable Zachary Rolfe was acquitted of murder, Coroner Elizabeth Armitage began a deep dive into the death in custody. She's since described some of what she uncovered as deeply disturbing. Text messages, even between senior police, referring to Indigenous people as Neanderthals and coons. Mock awards ridiculing Aboriginal people handed out by the force's most elite unit. Body-worn footage ruled inadmissible at trial, and allegations of cover-ups of police use of force. The evidence stretched well beyond the night of the shooting and the actions of Zachary Rolfe.
There was an assumption that he was a rotten apple, that he was an exception to the otherwise very harmonious and well-intentioned Northern Territory police force that was not racist. And in fact, what he showed was that he was a product of that racism within the Northern Territory police force.
What was supposed to be a 3-month process has been delayed by numerous legal arguments and a broad scope of inquiry.
I do think it's gone on for too long, and I think things should have been pulled in, and I think the coroner should have been more assertive in terms of how she dealt with a lot of the evidence and the witnesses.
Elizabeth Armitage says her investigation was never just about Zachary Rolfe and Kumanjayi Walker, but the systems which put them on a fatal collision course in the first place. Tomorrow, in a lengthy and complicated report, she'll detail how it happened and how to prevent it reoccurring in the future.
The findings and recommendations of coroners are not binding at all, and I would suggest that this is why these types of deaths in custody continue to occur.
We'll sit down and look at those recommendations and then be upfront with the community about which ones we accept and which ones we don't. But it's a process that needs to be drawn to a close, and we're looking forward to that happening on Monday.
Police have been working towards probably what a lot of those recommendations will probably set out and recommend, but we'll consider those when they're handed down.
The coroner's task was never going to be easy. There isn't a corner of the Northern Territory untouched by the ripple effects of Kumanjayi Walker's death. The police force has been left reeling and divided. Many officers believe Zachary Rolfe has been unfairly targeted, a political pawn charged and prosecuted without reason. For many Indigenous communities, any trust in the justice system has been shattered. And the evidence of widespread systemic racism raised at the inquest was both devastating and unsurprising.
We should be this together, living together, sharing. I give you my chokorba, my grower. I tell you that. You give me yours, and you give me your trust. I give you my trust.
A message of unity after a divisive inquiry. Melissa Mackay, ABC News, Yuendumu.